and dragons. Time of magic, age of might. A band of heroes step up to the fight. Playing with powers they don't understand. Will they fuck it all up or will they save the land? Treachery, fantasy, loitering and worse. They are their own worst enemies. These fuckers don't need no cause. Authors and dragons. Authors and dragons. Their powers combined, a group of fantasy authors take on a sadistic games master. Will they survive? Probably not. Authors and dragons. Authors and dragons.
Hi there, I'm John Hartness, and I will be once again returning to the role of Fandango the Fantastical, Bard of all trades and Flinger of fireballs. In real life, I write a bunch of shit, including Bubba the Monster Hunter, Black Knight Chronicles, and Quincy Harker, Demon Hunter. And my newest release in that series is Carl Perkins' Cadillac. So get out there and place your orders.
Hi, I'm Joseph Brassi. I play the role of Bjorg Bjornsson, enthusiastic and violent barbarian. I was an author on the Mongoliad books. My novels Skyfarer and Dragon Road are out from Angry Robot Books. Go buy that shit. And I am also the author of such non-existent novels as Why Does My Foot Have a Face? Why Is It Screaming? No, seriously, I don't understand, and everything's going black.
Hi, my name is Rick Gualtieri, and I allegedly play Silas Kane, everybody's least favorite paladin. In real life, I write several things, including the Tome of Bill series, and my latest release, Second String Savior with author Ari Carr, is coming to Audible on August 13th, so treat yourself to an audio orgasm. I probably won't be giving it to you, but as long as somebody does.
Hello, friends. My name is Robert Bevan, and I'm wondering why Joe doesn't write these fucking awesome-sounding books. I play the role of Klaus Richter, the notorious rogue. And in real life, I'm the author of the Caverns and Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories, starting with the first book, Critical Failures.
Hi there, my name's Steve Weverill, and I play Brandon Firemaster, everybody's favorite mostly nude monk. In real life, I write the Doomsayer Journeys, Shoot the Dead, Far into Dark, and I pervade general internet comedy nonsense.
Hey everybody, my name is Drew Hayes, author of books such as Superpowered NPCs, the recently released 5-Minute Sherlock, The Case of the Damaged Detective, and, God help us all, the upcoming semi-advice book, Underqualified Advice, coming in fall of 2019. And while I am the DM for this general shit show, before we jump into those adventures, a quick announcement regarding A&D Con, and for that we throw to the man, the legend, the voice, John Hartness.
So you might have noticed that Authors and Dragons Con is fast approaching. We're coming up on September at a breakneck pace. So on September 21st and 22nd, your ass needs to be in Vegas. Some folks have asked us what's going to be going on at this convention aside from drinking and watching us make asses out of ourselves in casinos. We're going to have our live 100th episode of Authors and Dragons, which we'll be recording live from the convention. Drew has concocted some nefarious game modules for you to play with each of us. So we're going to follow the advice of one of his book titles and split the party, and many groups of attendees will get to play through a module with one of the Authors and Dragons players, DMs, characters, whatever we're all going to be. We'll figure that out once Drew sobers up, which is to say never. We're also going to have some great guests. We've got authors such as J.D. Jordan and Judy Black joining us. Ari Carr and E.M. Kaplan will also be there. And they're going to be doing some writing and publishing and creative type panels. And also, Andrea Judy and her Twitch streaming gaming group Roll for Trouble will also be doing a live game session, and they may be roping in some of our other guests or some of our cast members as guest stars. So we've got 2 days of gaming and panels and book buying and book signing and drinking and debauchery planned out. We're going to lock in our panel schedule by the 1st of September, because if I don't have it done before Dragon Con, I'm never, ever going to do it. So pay attention to our Facebook page and keep listening for further updates. And go buy your fucking tickets, y'all.
All right, thank you, John. That was competent and concisely delivered. So let's go to the opposite of that and jump into the combat that was initiated when last we left. So I'm sure, John, you have, of course, listened to last week's episode to be 100% caught up on everything that's happening. I mean, but for the sake of any listeners who might have missed it.
I feel like I'm at least as caught up as anyone who was on the episode.
Touche.
When I looked at the map, I remembered what was going on.
So for the sake of anyone who might have missed it, certainly not John, of course, but other listeners, the party had some questy options they could choose from. They decided to take one of them, going into the sewer to find out what is causing the issues. People have been trying to investigate, but everyone who's gone in through different entrances has failed to return. So you are now going into this one, and you are in goblin mode, so you don't really know any of this, but, hey, just in case you need to know for some reason, potentially. When last we left off, Klaus had triggered the Shamblers, but it is not his turn. Gordon actually won top of the initiative. The Shamblers did reveal themselves. You guys are officially in battle, and Gordon is going to extricate himself as quickly as possible, pulling out a staff and saying, "Don't worry, I'm getting repositioned to heal."
Sure you are.
And as he runs backward, looking over his shoulder, he trips on his cloak and lands heavily into Fandango, which, as you might imagine, results in the old switcheroo, seeing as you have your actual party member back.
What a coincidence.
What the fuck did you guys do this time?
Gordon is doing exactly what he was built to do.
We're turning the wheel.
Okay, Fandango, roll me initiative. And don't forget to click on your character first.
I don't know what you're talking about. Can't imagine I would have missed that.
Certainly not.
Not a bit. Alrighty, Fandango rolls a 20.
Okay. Interestingly enough, you take his place. So, Fandango, it's your turn.
Who do I see?
There's some sort of mossy monster that has appeared over here and here. And if you really pay attention, you do know that Klaus vanished into this one right before shit got real.
Okay. Mossy monsters. Mossy monsters are flammable.
Yes,
was
they are,
close.
including the one your party members encased in.
Fucking Steve Irwin here.
You can't make you can't make omelets,
Yeah.
Can't make an omelette
So,
without setting fire to fucking everything.
Fandango's going to cast Fireball, and we're going to center that. We're going to center it about 5 feet north of the furthest ball of shit.
So 5 feet north of Klaus.
No, comes from the about 20 feet south of Klaus and 20 feet away from Brandon.
To be fair, I probably have shit myself at this point.
Okay, so you're trying to fireball the giant wheel that you need to lift the stone blockade to enter the dungeon.
Is the giant wheel made of? Is the giant wheel made of wood?
In all fairness, he just woke up, so he don't know that shit.
Yeah. Roll me perception.
We are all still pushing against this wheel. The last game, only just realizing there were shambling mounds, and only just pretending to care that Klaus might be inside a shambling mound.
Klaus, you need to stop taking from my old squat friends' desire to be inside of things. It's not healthy. Don't take that muffled tone with me.
What's that? You want to give all your money to Torag?
And what's the range on Fireball? 20-foot radius.
20-foot radius sphere.
Got it.
I basically want to not hit Brandon and Bjorg, but I want to hit the two shambling things.
Maybe Klaus.
If you put it to the northwest of the wheel, right where my little arrow is, you'll get Mound, but not Silas, not Bjorg, not Brandon, and Mound. You will definitely get Klaus, though.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. All right, that
I have
is
healing
that is your
spells.
call to make. So, Klaus, let's see how restrained impacts your dex save, if at all. You have a disadvantage on this dex save,
Okay.
so roll a dex save.
I think that's generous considering that I can't actually avoid anything, but
Hey, that's what restrain does. It doesn't stop you entirely.
It's a great attitude, man.
dex save. Wow.
Oh.
Double fucking natural ones. Wow.
Wow.
Why don't you roll a d20?
Look,
Drew tries to be lenient. Game says nope.
I count on dex.
Not
Roll
my
20
fault.
says, fuck you.
D20, you say?
Yeah.
2! God damn it!
Jesus fuck.
It wasn't a 1. That was my fear.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so Klaus, you take 31 fireball damage.
Oh, well, there goes my turn.
Okay, what's the DC, John?
The DC is... My spell DC is 15.
One of them makes it, the other one does not. We'll say the one that was holding Klaus did not make it, because that one really got its shit kicked in.
so we're fighting shambling mounds. When do we fight shambling almond joys?
Might be roasted almonds if you give me another shot.
I don't know if Klaus can withstand another shot.
I'm certain I can't.
I don't hear him objecting.
Klaus, it is your turn. Are you conscious?
I'm at -7.
Did you...
Wow.
How are you down from 31 when your hit points are 50? Did you get attacked last round?
I
Or
got
last
eaten
game?
by a fucking plant.
You jumped into it. It didn't attack you.
Well, still, it hurt me.
Oops.
Oh my goodness. Okay, death saving throw then is what you need.
Yay.
Unfortunately, your healer traded out with Fandango.
Excuse me.
Sorry, your good healer traded out with Fandango.
Do I still get a... Wait a minute.
Wait, what are you trying to argue here, John? You want to be the healer? You just fucking roasted me.
You smell better when you're burnt.
Okay. 7.
That's one failure.
Hey. Man, I blew all my good rolls last time.
Silas.
All right, since Klaus is being held in contempt in this trial of fire, is there any way to reach in and drag his crispy ass out?
You know what? I feel like it got fire damaged. Sure. If you can, just roll against its DC with strength and see if you can physically yank him out.
All right.
Actually, you know what? Let's be fair. Let's make it in athletics. That way, if you have relevant skill points, they'll factor in.
All right, then athletics check. Silas gets a 12.
12 does not beat the DC. Sorry, man. I gave you every advantage I could.
Yeah, unfortunately, Klaus, being crispy doesn't help when you shit yourself and make you're all slippery and crap.
Yeah, you guys can definitely smell roasted turds. We are going to say that's your action, was trying to free him, if you want to move or anything.
Are any of your spells bonus action?
Well, that's the thing. All my attack spells are bonus action. Most
What
of
about
my
lay on hands?
yeah, that's all. That's an action. What I was saying is, I'm assuming that what I did there was an action, not a bonus action, right?
Yeah, it's definitely an action. It's an action for them to try to break out on their own, so I'm counting it the same as you trying to reach in. You tried an escape action for
Yeah.
him on your turn.
Unfortunately, I cannot. As a bonus action, I'll pray for his filthy soul.
Thoughts and prayers, all right.
Yep.
Well, you did nothing, but that's still markedly better than Fandango.
I disagree. I damaged the monsters.
A little. They are not fucked up. They are mostly fine.
Ah, that's promising.
Did more damage than Klaus.
You did more damage to Klaus. Okay. Bjorg Bjornsson.
Yes. Did Bjorg see Silas like trying to pull him out and stuff? Like,
Yeah, I
say
mean,
he knows that he's in there.
there's a giant explosion of fire. Klaus probably screaming quite a bit. I mean, he got a lot of damage.
You know what? I'm still willing to bet that that original recipe Klaus is more palatable than extra crispy.
So Bjorg is gonna move and try to strength check him out.
Thanks, man.
If he
Go
can.
do
What's the worst that can
athletics.
happen? He dies and winds up in your head.
Oh, and Bjorg, this is a check made to pull something.
Yes, this is a check me to pull something, so I've got advantage.
Yes, you do.
If I'm going to be in anybody's head, it's going to be Fandango's.
All right, let's see how this goes. Bjorg rolled a 16.
16 is enough to tear Klaus free of the Shambler. I'm just gonna assume you swing him wide away.
Yeah.
That's the farthest you can get him in your reach. Okay, you have used your action. You've got a little bit of move left, although at this point you will get an attack of opportunity.
I want to make sure that he's between the thing and Klaus, like just in case it decides to go like no, nom nom nom. Is that doable?
You're kind of as in between as you can be from
Okay,
positioning
alright.
and everything.
Okay, cool. Then yep, there's not much else I can do because
Yep.
I can't because he's burned his standard, so he can't attack.
Well, it is the Shamblers' turns.
All right.
What will they do? I wonder. Bjorg, you're gonna get a slam. Silas, you're gonna get a slam. What's
Alright.
their move speed? Oh. Brandon, you're getting 2 slams. Okay, so let's see. Let's go. First, we're just gonna go down the line. So first slam to Bjorg, then to Silas, then 2 to Brandon. So Bjorg, Silas, and 2 to Brandon. No advantages. So 20 to Bjorg,
Oh, that'll hit.
15 damage.
All right.
13 to Silas. I know that misses.
Sadly, no.
15 and 17 to Brandon.
Both misses.
Okay.
Too slow, garbage pile.
Silas, roll me a perception check.
All right, failure coming up in a second. A 10.
These mounds are shambling.
Okay. Nothing that you notice happens, Silas. Brandon Thighmaster.
I don't have to notice anything, do I? I mean, the guy just attacked me. I'll go the much easier route of just blindly attacking the thing.
Does make a certain amount of sense. It is right there.
Yeah. I mean, it's just more convenient than thinking. But I won't burn a key point. I will just take a couple of unarmed strikes, as is my right as a monk.
As is my right.
27 and a 10.
The 27 will hit.
11 bludgeon damage.
All right.
Just kicking through those leaves like a child on a full day.
Unlike Fandango's spell, this does seem to actually smash it up appropriately.
There you go. I think there are other ways to tackle situations without setting them on fire.
Heresy. That is heresy in this game, and you
Disagree.
know it. Fandango, we are back around to you.
All right. Well, I will take a shot at the one that recently held Klaus.
Are you sure? I'm right here.
Quiet, you're dead.
With my hand crossbow.
You could heal him.
Yeah, I can do that as a bonus action, though.
Okay.
So, a 19
Hit.
for 7.
This also seems to be more effective than the fireball.
And then I'll cast Mass Healing Word, targeting Klaus and Bjorg.
Okie dokie.
And I'll heal them for 6.
Yay.
Excellent. Yay.
I'm at -1.
Nope. Remember, first point puts you to 0.
Oh, so does that mean I'm at
Or first
5?
point puts you to 1, I think.
Oh, so
yeah.
that mean I'm at 6?
Yes.
Sweet.
Got most of your skin back.
I mean,
Do you want to move or anything, Fandango, or you go with your standard and bonus?
I'm good staying the fuck away from these things. Obviously, setting them on fire wasn't the right move.
Well, Klaus, you are back amongst the living and very charred.
Yeah, I'm gonna back up a bit, and man, I was gonna use my +2 dagger while I was inside there. I thought that would have been awesome, but instead, I will do my roguey thing. Oh crap! What is it? I take 5 away from my attack and add 10 to damage. Right? Yeah.
Yep, that is one of your... I think it's like an archery ability, but I know you have it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Sharpshooter, isn't it?
As a +1 short bow. 17. Oh no. Well, that's 12.
12. 12 does not hit.
Fuck. All right. Well, at least I'm alive.
High risk, high reward.
Yeah.
Silas Kane, there is no longer a struggling Klaus to deal with.
Well, that's good. I don't have to waste my time on him then. On a lost cause. But Klaus had a good idea, and I will follow suit. I will do my sharpshooter as well with both my arrows into this thing.
Okie dokie.
Both your bows. Dual wielding bows.
I love that you guys see a bunch of plants and like, I'm going to shoot them.
All right. 19 and 10.
19 hits.
I was going to prune them, but fuck if I'm getting close again.
All right. 24 damage.
Damn. You put an arrow through a big old chunk of it. You snap some branches and it kind of... I mean, it doesn't really make noise. It just rustles at you very angrily.
Yes, that ought to intimidate me.
Bjorg Bjornsson. What says the North?
The North says, kill this bitch. Bjorg is going to... Okay, Bjorg is going to rage. And then he is going to basically just lay into that son of a bitch with his 2 attacks. The one he's adjacent to.
He's got the weed,
So-
you've got the whacker.
We got the weed, we got the whacker. 1 and 1.
This is gardening northern style.
That is a 13 and a 12.
13 or 12 do not hit.
Ah, whiff.
I don't understand. This doesn't normally happen.
In the future turns, might I recommend reckless attacking.
Reckless. Yeah, I know.
Don't worry, Bjorn. It happens to all men your age.
Well, in the meantime, this time the attack is not getting split. It's all going to Silas. Well, except for Brandon's, who is, of course, going to attack Brandon. So, first 2 for Silas, second 2 for Brandon. 9 and 17. Does 17 hit you? That's closer.
No.
All right. Brandon, 16 and 11.
Whiff.
All right. And Silas, roll me a perception check.
Oh, another chance to embarrass myself. A 4.
Ooh. All right, that's extra fun because...
The shambling mound, where'd it go? It's invisible.
Okay. Silas, you take 12 damage.
Silas doesn't realize he's covered in bees.
Did you notice that, motherfucker?
Poison Ivy's a bitch, Silas.
Brandon Thighmaster.
Sticking to what works. Just going to double unarmed strike. Ooh, 10 and a natural 20.
Well, the 10 doesn't do anything, but yeah, the natural 20 will, of course, get you that extra critical damage.
It just did that automatically. 6 plus 6, so 12 in total.
Not too shabby.
Just elbow dropping that thing.
Yeah. These things are still relatively fine, by the way.
Well, of course the one I'm fighting is fine.
I mean, actually, that one has taken the most damage.
Anytime you want to join the battle, Bjorg, it's all cool.
Damn it!
You've been spending a lot of time in goblin form. It's like sea legs. It takes you a minute to get back to your normal body.
Oh!
Don't use that muffled tone with me, Bjork.
I pulled you to safety.
All right, Fendingo, you have brought back the person you almost killed from the brink of death. What are you going to do with your action this time?
Really want to throw another fireball, but that seems like it was a bad idea. So I guess I'll just shoot at the motherfucker.
I mean, you can honestly tell the regular fighting has been doing a lot better damage than the fireballs did. They definitely didn't take as much as they should have.
Yeah, so it's obviously got some kind of magical resistance, so...
Yeah, honestly, it surprised me too. Resistance to fire, which weird for a plant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very counterintuitive.
So I'll shoot at it with my hand crossbow again for a 24.
Well, a 24 will hit, but if it didn't, that 24 would take care of you.
That's right. For 5. Hey, it's better than Bjork did.
Damn you!
When the bard is dunking on the barbarian.
And if you add in the damage I did to Klaus, I have done a lot of fucking damage in this fight.
You have arguably done more damage to Klaus than some of the mounds have taken.
Yeah. Whereas Bjorg is standing here trying to chop down a tree and somehow missing it.
Klaus, it is your turn.
I'm gonna. I don't know if I can't roll above an 8 or whatever, then it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna do the same thing I did before. All right, natural 20.
Nice. Before you ask, no, your 10 bonus doesn't double too.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. All right. What's the? All right, it says 10 plus 3. What is the plus 3?
The plus 3 is your critical damage because you got a crit. It rolls your damage die again.
All right, so 13 plus 10 is 23.
Nicely done, man. Y'all are putting a hurting on this one. Brandon, you're also doing a very good job, but you're 1 monk versus 3 DPSs, so.
That's fair enough.
Silas Cade.
Same thing that I did last round. Both of these with sharpshooter.
Alrighty, let it fly.
11 and 20.
The 20 will hit.
That'll be 20 points.
All right, yeah, it is rustling loudly and angrily, as it is a shambling mound. But that is the limit of what it can really do.
All right, come on, Bjorg. We believe in you.
Bjorg Bjornsson.
Oh,
It's not
not a
impossible
lot.
that you could drive this one home.
all right, Bjorg is gonna. This time I'm gonna do the reckless thing. So advantage on both of these raging attacks, and let's see how we do. That is a 19 and a natural 20.
Yes, it is. Roll your damage, or just click on Raging Greatsword, and that'll do it.
That is an 18 damage on the first one, and the second one is 21. 18 and 21 damage.
Woo!
You brought the weed, I brought the whacker.
So after some of Joe's real rage transferred over into Bjork's sword, after Fandango talked shit, you all notice Bjork just go kind of real quiet, and that grip on his sword get real tight.
It's a whole new kind of bardic inspiration, guys.
Yeah, he fucks this thing up. The first cleave comes up and tears a chunk out of it. The second one carves out some of the stone, but it is still standing.
Damn it!
And it's going for you, man. It's going out
of course.
the way it lived. So 2 to Bjorg with advantage, and then 2 to Brandon as normal. So
This is
Bjorg's
gonna
first.
suck.
22 and 22.
22 and 22. Yep, those will both hit.
So that is a slam and a slam. So that's 17. So that's going to be 29 total. And
All right.
Bjorg, you are now engulfed.
Oh, hey.
You are blinded, restrained, and unable to breathe, but you will get to try and escape on your turn.
All right. Do I still have my hands on my weapon?
If you don't get fireball.
Yeah, as long as Fandango doesn't fireball you.
One.
You're now in the position that Klaus
bastard.
was at the
No.
start of this combat.
No,
Brandon,
no.
16 and 19.
Neither of those hit.
A 19 doesn't hit you?
No, I'm at 20. I got that AC bonus on my last level up.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Just dancing around this fucker.
Brandon Thighmaster. Oh, wait, I'm so sorry. I almost forgot. Silas, give me a perception check.
Keep getting stung here. It's getting worse. A 1.
He's just standing there with his feet on fire.
Everything's fine.
Okay. Boy, the DC for this is not that high. I didn't expect it to go on this long.
You've met us, right?
Silas, you take 13 damage. It definitely has advantage on you now. It didn't originally, but at this point, you failed so many perceptions.
Can we tell that Silas is taking damage?
Nope. You guys are all kind of dealing with your own shit with the shambling mounds.
There's a thorny tentacle up his ass,
Yeah.
and he doesn't even know it.
And what's happening is not really visible to anyone except Silas.
Also, we don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's that.
So, Brandon Thighmaster, it is your turn.
Okay. I'm going to, again, stick to what seems to be working. 2 unarmed strikes. Boom. Natural 1. Shit. Boom. 12. That was not a good round for me.
Roll me a d20.
D20. 10.
Okay, you don't hurt yourself or anything. You just, after seeing Bjorg's incredible display, you kind of flex and swell up, and you put so much into the showmanship that you forget to aim.
That's credible. I'm glad to hear my priorities are where they need to be.
Better to miss and look good.
Dang straight.
All right, do you want to do any movement or anything?
No, that's fine. I'm confident I can dodge tank this thing.
All right, Fandango.
Can I see Bjorg?
I mean, at this point, yeah, so much of this thing has been cut away, and Bjorg is a big old Northman, so I would say you can definitely see him there.
Okay,
There's
cool.
a shambling mound just shaped like Bjorg.
It looks like Bjorg is wearing a ghillie suit.
All right, we're gonna start with a hand crossbow. And
Wait.
That's a 16.
Okay. Roll damage.
7.
All right, so Bjorg, you feel the wind against your head as like a crossbow bolt sails right through the last cohesive structure of this shambling mound, shattering it, and the whole thing just crumbles to pieces around you, completely just dying. It's
How much plant-
fucking dead?
How much plant goop am I covered in?
Oh,
I
so
think
much.
you're covered in more Klaus Coop.
But you are no longer blinded or restrained or anything. You're just gooey.
And for my bonus action, I will cast Mass Healing Word on Klaus and Bjorg, giving them both
Again.
back 6 hit points. And I'll shout out, "It's okay, Bjorg. I killed it. I saved you. It's fine."
But at least you're covered in plant cum and Klaus shit.
I would not want to be
Roasted
the
Klaus
other
shit.
Shambler right now. Bjorg's really got some shit to prove. Any movements or anything, Fending, or are you good with upstaging and saving Bjorg?
I'm going to take my movement and move forward. Just move straight forward about 15 feet. So that I can make sure I'm in the range for a hand crossbow to shoot at the other thing.
Good thinking. Class, you trying to draw a piss stream, buddy?
No, I was trying to like measure movement, but I put the wrong thing on.
I mean, that's credible. If you had been doing that, we would have understood.
I truly, that was not meant sarcastically. As soon as I saw yellow line coming out of the Klaus token, I was like, oh, he's drawing a piss stream.
I was going to say, he heard me say plant come and said, I can do better.
Didn't bump me for a moment. Anyway, Klaus, it's your turn.
I'm going to move over here. All right, I'm going to move here and do my sharpshooter at the other shambling mound.
Alrighty, let's see if the dice are with you.
They are not. Klaus rolls a 7? Yeah, 7.
I like to imagine that how this works is you're just grabbing your crossbows and your bows and just pulling them way further back than they should be. It's like, it's extra power, but harder to aim.
I think it's got more to do with my hands being covered in plant goop and my own shit.
Is experienced in firing while covered in their own bodily fluids. It's you.
And I usually perform about this well. Last week was a fluke. I was competent.
All right, Silas.
All right. 2 sharpshooters going into the one with Brandon. Nat 20 and a third, and 26.
Shockingly, both hit, especially the nat 20.
All right. So the first one is 27 points, and the second one is 20 points.
Woo, man. So Silas spins around, pulls his bow, and fires twice. And Brandon, you see big old chunks of this thing tear off as he hit core branches and knocked shit away. The archers are really showing up the tanks on this one.
Okay.
I just assumed it was like a delayed damage. And like you getting Fist of the North Star, where you hit them and kind of like turn around and then they kind of swell up and explode. I just assumed that's what happened.
Yeah, you just believe that.
I mean, he might believe you had done it, if you were as good as the arrow of the gods.
But he's not here.
Yeah.
You're more like fisted by the North Star.
Silas, any bonus or movement usement, or are you good?
Since standing here seems to hurt, I will move 5 feet that way.
Okay. Bjorg Bjornsson.
All right. Bjorg is gonna just. Can I charge straight for the thing that Brandon is currently fighting?
Definitely not. There's a huge metal wheel that's like waist high in your way.
All right.
And also charge
Can
really
I-
a thing in 5e, but you've definitely got
Sure.
enough movement to get there.
All right. Bjorg is gonna go like yonder. Just gonna work his way around to the other side here, and then he is just gonna lay into this thing with all of his pent up frustration and inadequacies as he's reaching a certain age.
So you're reckless attacking him?
Reckless attacking.
Hell yeah.
All right. Do this. Okay, and that is a 22 and a 25.
And they will both hit.
And one is 12 damage, the other is 11 damage. Nothing special. But that's a total of 23.
23 damage is not bad at all.
No. Didn't kill him.
That was
I'm guessing.
that was more than adequate.
Yeah. You swing through.
Wow.
You do a very solid job. It would be impressive if you didn't have to follow those frankly ridiculous shots that Silas just put out.
Yeah, if you weren't getting shown up by Silas, it would have been great.
Oh, man. I hate to do this to you, Brandon. But you haven't really been doing much lately, and Bjorg just brought in some damage, so both are going to Bjorg.
I'll get over it.
With advantage.
All right.
24 and 24.
That is 2 hits.
I'll get over it. Bjorg might not.
26 damage, and you're engulfed.
All right. Spending a lot of time inside of things. I like to think that he's honoring Kutharic somewhere. Okay, so what was the total damage taken?
26 damage.
Okay, I am getting
And
into
Brandon, roll me a perception check.
Perception. 19.
Oh, I can finally do this in the open. Okay, so Brandon, as you are amazed as Bjork comes in, swings, does some impressive damage, and then gets cracked in the head by vines and like yanked into the mound while he's still kind of recovering. You're like, wow, that was crazy, right? And you like turn as if there's going to be someone there, and right as you turn and look, you turn into one of the vines from the actual wheel that has risen off and like grown a little spike and is right about to attack you. So
shit.
it does not get advantage as the vine attempts to sting you. 15 does not hit though.
15 does not hit.
So yeah, it's and yeah, you have now been made aware that there is a third opponent. It is the vine that was kind of wrapped around that whole thing.
Oh, crap. Well, that's surprising enough for me to remark upon. So I will relay that to the rest of the party by saying, oh, crap. There's a vine attacking us.
Ha! See, it wasn't bees.
Sweet, that's probably flammable.
Brandon Thighmaster. Well, Bjorg has done it again.
Hang on there, buddy.
Where do you want to spend your energy?
Well, I'm going to back away from the vine, if I may do so. Will that provoke an attack of opportunity?
It is actually going to take the attack of opportunity because you... Oh, wait.
Can I use... I think I can use a key point and to use the dodge action as a bonus action.
Actually, show me where you're moving, Steve.
Just to this side of Bjorg. Away from the vine, but still engaging the shambling mound.
Okay. You don't get an attack of opportunity.
All right, I won't bother wasting my key point then. Instead, I'll just punch this Bjork-shaped mound with a double unarmed strike, but not very well. 10 and a 19.
The 10 does nothing. The 19 hits.
For 8 bludgeon damage.
Unfortunately, you do not repeat Fandango's earlier barbarian saving feat, but you do land a solid blow and knock some branches off. Bjorg, you're starting to get experienced at hearing a Shambler take damage from the inside.
Valuable skill set in today's economy.
Yeah, that rage having is a big boon of being a barbarian.
A barbarian.
Well, you are a barbarian of the bear.
Yes.
A barbarian.
Barbarian. All right. Fendingo the Fantastical, it is your turn. How will you kill Bjorg today?
How far away is the vine from the shambling mound?
I mean, the vine is all. It's the wheel.
Is there
basically.
any piece of the vine that's within 5 feet of the shambling mound?
Yeah, again, it's
All
the
right.
wheel.
Then I'm going to cast Acid Splash, and I can choose 2 creatures within range that are within 5 feet of each other. So I'm going to throw a bubble of acid at the shambling mound and one at the vine.
Okay. What's the save on that?
They make a dex save against my DC, or they take 2d6 acid damage.
What was the DC?
My spell DC is 15.
Okay. Shambling Mound does not make it. Ooh. And Vine definitely does not make it.
So they'll each take 8 points of acid damage.
Okay. All right. 8 points of acid damage. All right. Any other actions?
Nah, I'm good.
Okie dokie. Klaus.
All right. Klaus fucking hates plants well enough right now, but he hates one even more when it reminds him of bears. So he is going to, well, he's going to do the same shit he does every time now. Sharpshooter. Fuck you, bear plant. Klaus rolls a 17.
17 will hit.
All right, that's 20 damage.
Go.
Oh man, Bjorg, you ready for deja vu?
Yes.
Another arrow comes through and just cracks the shit out of the last major structure, and it falls apart, covering you in plant goo again. As Klaus has set you free.
Oh, God.
You're having a day, man. You're having a day.
Oh God, it's cloned. It's cloned. Bjorg, kill it.
We're square now, Bjorg.
No!
Only I was actually effective at hurting the plant when I saved you.
I pulled you out. Damn it all.
Silas, would you like to do anything? Maybe a little payback?
I was just gonna collect some clippings and put them in a bag. I'm gonna go up and do that to the one that actually swallowed me, though.
All right, you want to start moving over that way? That is cool, but we are still in combat, so...
Oh shit! I forgot there's another thing. All right, well I moved. Yeah.
Silas, you are up, sir.
Watching Klaus inexplicably move into like the poison vine. Well, I will sharpshooter the vine twice.
Klaus heroically charging in to protect you.
I'm touched.
Yeah, in the head.
17 and 22.
Let us see. Those will both hit.
All right. 25 and 22. So what's that? 47?
Jesus fuck.
Nice.
All right, you fire some arrows into the thicker parts, and you see chunks fall away, but it's not gone yet. Bjorg, you are a little bit dripping. I'm not gonna lie.
Is the vine within striking distance?
If you're within 5 feet of the wheel, you're within 5 feet of the vine.
All right. Yeah, Bjorg is taking a shot at that because he's bad. All right. Again, reckless, because, hey, why not? So he's going to go after the vine, and that is a 28 and a 26.
Both of which will hit.
All right, and we are rolling. That is 16 and 20 damage for 36 total.
Okay, so as you guys are like firing off and taking shots at the vine, Bjorg Bjornsson gets up, wipes the goo from his face and hands, picks up his sword, walks over, and cleaves the fucking vines in twain with a pair of shots. Just done with this bullshit.
Fucking gardening! This is why I like flowers.
Yeah, they are... Yeah, you killed the shit out of them. The assassin vine isn't really strong. It was just a fun little extra nuisance.
Way to make me feel better.
You did kill the shit out of it. Yeah, if it makes you feel better.
After being saved by the bard and the rogue.
And give it some credit.
No, you did.
It fucked the shit out of Silas before he even knew what was happening.
Yeah. It's not easy to damage Silas. Getting the advantage after all those failed perceptions helped a lot.
He attacked him in his one weakness, his brain.
His mind.
His
All
adult
right,
brain.
well, the plant monsters are dead, but there is still the whole wheel to deal with.
Fuck this wheel up.
Kill the wheel.
I am going to take some clippings from that shambling mound.
Sure.
I'll grow some more, kill them.
You got some weird retirement plans, man.
I'll put them in my bag of holding. Actually, can I do a knowledge of some sort check to see if I can find seeds or bulbs or anything that I can grow these things with later?
Sure. It would be it's gonna be knowledge nature.
And does it matter if it's untrained?
Not for this particular application.
Oh, got an 18.
It doesn't look like these have seeds or grow or anything. They just sort of form naturally out of the vegetation of certain areas. So the plants themselves aren't magical or special. So there's nothing about that would cause you to be able to grow another one. And since you got an 18, you know all that.
I'm still taking some clippings.
By all means.
All right. You guys don't have to wait for me to type this in the inventory.
We're all just got to watch
It's
it.
done now, just in case.
So what are we supposed to do with this fucking wheel?
So the big ass boulder that is sitting on top of presumably the next step of this is jointed with 4 big chains that go into the wall. There's a whole little turnstile mechanism. But basically, yeah, they learned last time that it can be turned. It's just really hard, especially when people try to do it by themselves. Not shockingly, when you work together, the DC lowers.
It's probably easy without being attacked by plants.
It certainly is easier than when you were being attacked by a plant.
Is there anything else around that looks like it might turn into a shambling mound and attack us?
Everything?
Well, I'm out of fireballs.
No, it's not. There's not that much vegetation. There's just like a bunch of shit around this thing. After that fireball cleared out a bunch of the non-native stuff, though, so you're reasonably certain all the vegetation is dead, or at least not magically alive.
You're welcome.
Oh, yeah. I'm full of gratitude.
Bjorg just stands there dripping.
Right, let's all grab a spoke and turn this wheel.
All right, form your characters up around it. Whoever's gonna help turn.
All right. I'll move over here.
Yeah, sure, all right.
All right, we will do athletics. Let's give you your full skill points and everything as appropriate. And Bjorg, for you, this is an advantage.
All right, Bjorg rolls a 21.
Silas rolls an 18.
Fendingo rolls a 12.
Klaus rolls an 8.
Brandon Firemaster rolls a 9.
All right. Well, some of you help more than others, but you are all able to push, and you feel it. It's mighty and it's old and it's heavy as shit, but you are able to turn it a quarter of a rotation, and as you do, the giant boulder, the chains draw tight, and the boulder lifts up a bit. If you had to guess, it's probably going to take you a full rotation to get it all the way to clearance area. So,
Klaus, stick your head in there and see what's down there.
right now you've basically just got like a few inches. So
you're saying we should do it again?
I forgot to mention the way this thing is designed. Basically, it has a little kind of a drop-in peg, so you can lock it in place. It was locked when you got here, but you have to get it fully around to get the peg back lined up again. So, if you want to keep going, yeah, you need to roll again.
Eve.
All right, this time Fendingo rolls a 15.
Eve ho.
Silas gets a 20.
Klaus rolls a 2.
A 25.
Brandon Firemaster rolls an 18.
Nicely done. All right. So almost everybody contributes. Klaus trips and falls over. But thankfully, with Bjorg and Silas's 20s and 25 respectively, there's definitely enough muscle to not lose any traction, and you make it another quarter rotation.
We're going to start fucking this up and end up down a well again.
Yep.
All right, Fendingo rolls a 17.
23 for Brandon Firemaster.
Natural 1 for Silas.
Oh shit.
Ooh, Klaus rolls a 13. Oh, fuck.
Bjorg rolls a 20.
Oh, advantage! Woo!
Thank
Nice.
God he's a barbarian.
Oh, man. Okay, so on this round, people are mostly contributing. Silas's arms start to just quiver, and he drops, and he kind of shakes it as he goes, and he causes Bjorg to lose his footing momentarily and almost start to slip back. But Bjorg catches a stone, locks in, Brandon pushes hard, and together you are able to not only not lose progress, but you finish another rotation. There is only quarter rotation. So you are 3/4 of the way there.
Oh, here we go.
Man, that advantage really came into play that round.
Fendingo is back to form, rolling a 5.
Klaus rolls a 3.
Brandon Firemaster is back to form, rolling a natural 20, where he belongs.
Silas Kane gets a 24.
Bjorg rolls a 16.
Okay. Whew. Wow, this one was all over the place. So this was a very straining effort, and the rolls are showing it's starting to take its toll on a lot of you. Fandango just fucking loses it. His arms go down. He drops. Same with Klaus. He's trying his best, but oh god, he's not fucking handling it. Silas Kane, after that woeful, shameful display, remembers who he is a motherfucking paladin of, and gets up and just runs and slams with everything he has, trying to push it. Bjorg, mighty Bjorg, you start to feel it. Your muscles are losing it. But Brandon Thighmaster fucking locks in and says, no, not this far. Think of the workouts this will give my glutes. Your feet slam down anime style, breaking the stone a little, and heroically you give that extra effort as you guys get it over the edge and ka-chunk are able to lock it down, finishing a full rotation. I am impressed.
I feel like I would have contributed more with an epidermis.
Given what's usually on your epidermis, I think burning that off added traction to you.
Yeah, the skin is kind of one of the least appreciated workout muscles.
Does that mean the Klaus looks like the Crypt Keeper right now?
I assumed that was always true. All right, gents. So as the map shows, you have successfully lifted up the boulder and cleared away into the sewers.
Yay.
Well, head on down.
Yay, we can go down into more shit.
I'm too pretty for sewers.
Do you not know where we're going?
You
Silas
should have
is
been in
not.
goblin form when the group was deciding which quest to take. I mean, you could have gone to Cocaine Hooker Island, but they didn't want to do that, and Fandango wasn't around, so...
So disappointed in you people.
What else is new? Well, Silas is gonna head over.
Wait, don't we need to lock a peg into place or something?
We did that.
Yeah, you guys did that. It would have fallen back down if you didn't.
Right, okay.
Adventure awaits.
From filth we came to filth we shall return.
Adventure awaits in the poop chute.
I don't have a single cantrip that makes things smell better.
Oh boy. And with that, let me move you to the next map. Welcome to the sewer. It kind of smells like poop.
You've been waiting for weeks to use that, haven't you?
No, please.
Oh, and no, just came to me. All the streaming we've been doing has gotten me defaulting to musical shit way too much. So, you all can clearly see this is some sort of runoffy area. You do know that, they mentioned water gets treated. There's clearly some sort of waste system at play on the mountain. This is probably not the clean stuff, whatever it is. It's a very unnatural shade. Maybe it's some sort of dye they use. It doesn't smell as bad as you would expect a sewer to, but then again, you don't know which part of the sewer you're in. So, maybe don't go chugging it, Klaus.
Well, look, I'm a booze guy. I don't drink fucking raw sewage. What?
Look, there's been a very steep curve of madness, and I'm just trying to get ahead of it a little bit.
Right.
To be fair, you've never yet been given the opportunity to drink raw sewage, so...
Well, someone else's raw sewage. Yeah. He has created ample raw sewage to be consumed.
Yeah.
Were he so inclined.
By nature.
Yeah. Everyone give me perceptions.
Sorry, I'm the only one that poops.
So are we.
Silas gets a 6.
Brandon Firemaster gets a 7.
Klaus Richter gets a 13.
Fandango gets a 14.
Bjorg rolls a 6.
Okay. So, Silas, Brandon, and Bjorg, y'all are pretty mesmerized by the dangerously green-looking water. That's capturing the vast majority of your attention. It's really all you get. Fandango and Klaus, you've seen grosser shit than this.
We're all explaining to Klaus, of course we poop, man. We just go somewhere else where we do it. Don't just...
I mean, unless I think this is like St. Patrick's Day beer. Yeah.
Roll an intelligence check.
I wasn't gonna make you, but you brought it up.
I made my perception check.
You did.
I can tell the difference between shit water and St. Patrick's Day beer.
Well, it's definitely not St. Patrick's Day beer. Klaus and Fandango, y'all have seen grosser shit than this, so you are grosser shit than this most of the time. You're not quite as mesmerized by whatever is spewing out of that pipe. You notice that there are 2 portcullises over on either side that appear to be going off in different directions. And there is some sort of what looks like an operations, something. An elevated panel, there were things, but now it mostly kind of just looks like junk. And 13 and 14, yeah, that is all you are going to get. Oh, there is a bridge between these 2 points. It looks, as the map would make it appear, rickety as all shit.
Is there an old man from Scene 24?
No, I do not get that reference.
It's all right. Some people will get it, and they'll be very happy they did.
All right, then.
Well, it's not the first time Silas has been dipped in shit, so Silas will head over to the bridge.
Fandango will do the same.
Yeah, I'd like to pull the old attach a rope to me and I'll jump across, because this bridge does not look like it's going to take anyone's weight.
Bjorg is going to follow Fandango and Silas.
So are y'all tying a rope to Brandon, or?
Yeah, I think Bjorg will let Brandon secure him to himself.
I'm going to let other people do this first.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon can just do his monk step thing where he just poofs over there.
So here's the real question. Who's tying the knot?
Who's got survival?
Why don't you just hold the rope in your hand?
I've got a high dexterity score, but
Bjorg has
not
survival.
reliable dice rolls.
Yeah,
I
you
mean-
could just hold the rope. Who's holding the other end of the rope?
Bjorg.
Silas will help.
If Bjorg will hold the end of the rope, he will allow Silas to take a chunk of it.
Oh, thank you for allowing me to take a chunk of it.
Fandango will cast Mage Hand and he'll help.
Oh, you guys just all like
got-
really holding this rope in case Brandon pulls it too far. Make sure he comes screaming back down into this water.
Yeah, pretty much.
I just like the mental image of like you've got Bjorg holding onto the rope, you've got Silas holding onto the rope, and then you've got this gigantic spectral fist shaped like Fandango's hand that is also holding onto the rope.
Holding on for 5 pounds worth.
10.
Oh, all right.
I mean, we could just Mage Hand the rope over the water, but whatever.
You can do that if you want.
I mean, if it falls off, if you drop it.
Oh, okay.
You're fine, just jump it.
Okay. Banning a key point.
What does the key point do? Remind me. I know it does affect your jumping.
This allows me to... Holy shit, hang on a sec. Let me remember what it's actually called so people don't think I'm a heretic.
Step of the wind, I think.
I mean, you are a heretic, but
Step of the Winds. I can spend a key point, and I can use the disengage or dash action as a bonus action on my turn, and also my jump distance is doubled for the turn.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you will easily clear that shit then.
You can fart yourself across.
Cool. And thanks to my athletics feat, I don't even need 10 feet, only 5 feet.
Oh, damn.
So, yeah, just gonna gracefully leap across this shit river with a rope in hand. And on the other
2,
side...
3, pull.
Oh, as it looks, these little stone things are elevated sections. They're about they're about probably 3 feet high.
Yeah, I was wondering if I could secure the rope around one of these stone things.
Absolutely. Roll me a survival.
Natural 20.
Ooh.
I tied the most beautiful knot you've ever seen.
You feel pretty confident about this knot, more than you have most other knots.
I do have the mariner feat now. Surely that should give me some kind of sailor knot power, tying ability.
It looks like a pair of arms flexing somehow. You have roped it and knotted it in a way that it just looks like a pair of like clasped hands doing the flex.
You've sheep shanked it.
I don't think that's what sheepshank means.
It's a yoke knot.
It's a knot. That's all you guys need to know. It's a knot that's going to hold this rope.
The Sheepshank Redemption.
So there's now 3 of you holding a rope that is tied well to the other side.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fandango will walk across the rickety-ass bridge holding onto the rope.
Okay. So is anyone holding the rope back? Is the rope going slack? As
Maybe we should try and tie it to this side as well.
Yeah, I'm really trying to get across with Bjorg still holding this side taut.
That's the idea.
Before you fuckers try and tie a knot.
you guys
Sensible.
realize the stones are only 3 feet high. So if you tie the knot at level, you're gonna have to be crouched down as you go across the bridge to keep your hands on it.
It's fine.
That's fine. I'm just
Yeah, all right.
letting you know it's gonna affect your movement.
Yeah. Hey, Bjorg, hold the rope up high so I don't have to crawl across the fucking bridge.
Jorg is holding the rope.
Cool. What do I have to roll?
Fendingo, do you want to move at half speed or full speed? Half speed will have you moving more carefully. Full speed will have you moving faster.
Full speed, full speed, full speed.
Yeah, fuck it. I've been dipped in shit before. Full speed.
Okay. For full speed, you are going to roll me a d6 for every square that you go over. Anything that's not a 5 or a 6, well, let's just see how things go.
So, 4d6.
Well, let's just go 1 square at a time.
All right. Are we counting the stones?
The stone does not count, only when you're on the bridge over the river.
All right. On the bridge. And a 3.
Roll me a dex save.
Of course. And a 7.
All right. So, you guys see Fandango step up, put a tentative foot on the bridge, step out, put his full weight. It's like, all right, it's bearing. He turns around to flash you guys a thumbs up. As he does, the part he's on cracks. He goes tumbling down and loses his grip on the rope entirely, falling directly into the
How deep is it?
At this juncture, it probably goes down about 4 feet. And Fandango, you take 1 damage as something in the chemicals of the water that is definitely not good for flesh begins to hurt you. It's not like you're at acid, but it's not comfortable.
Hey, do you have a bonus action, Fandango? Could you give me a little healing before I go across?
I do, but I'm going to wait till I get across and heal us both.
I'm just wondering how many like warriors, minotaurs, and gods up above are jacking off right now.
Oh, there is about a 10-foot drop from the bridge to the water. I should have mentioned.
Oh, thanks.
But I didn't even give you falling damage. I just let it be the. You fell into liquid. It feels shitty to say that would hurt.
It feels shitty in general.
Yeah. And you are after you land, you are washed slightly down because obviously it's coming out of that pipe of force.
Yeah. Do I have any movement left? Can I?
You had used 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think you have 2 squares of movement left.
All right. Do I have to roll anything else?
Now, if you want to try to start swimming up, let's say you can surface for your movement if you want.
All right, I'll surface.
All right.
I mean, it's only 4 feet deep, so I can just stand up.
Yeah. That's your movement.
Okay.
Come on in, guys. The sewage is fine.
Wait, I'm sorry. It would be much deeper than 4 at this juncture. I think I meant to say 40, but that feels too far. Let's just say it's like, I don't know, because it's going to get sloughed off over in here. At this point, it's actually closer to 6 or 7.
Okay, then I do have to surface and hang on.
Yeah, but you're like there's sloped edges. It's not hard to hit on. It's just a little bit deeper because it shallows out as it gets further in. So there has to be some room for it to go up. But yeah,
so
you're functionally fine. You grab the side, you're up, you're surfaced and stable. There's a current, but as long as you have something, think of it like a lazy river current.
Yeah.
if you were up near the pipe, it would be more forceful, but you're far enough down that it's just kind of like a gentle push.
With its own logs in the lazy river. Yay.
You're in
All
a
right.
large intestine.
I guess I'm just hanging out here then.
All right, and with Fandango stuck in a river of, well, let's just say something, I can't think of a better place to pause the game and let some things marinate for 2 weeks.
Nice.
Thanks.
Fear not, listeners, as you know, end of the session does not mean the end of the podcast because we take your questions as we are live blogging at facebook.com/authorsanddragons, except we, of course, allow our Patreons to cut the line because, well, they are special. They paid for the right to be special. So, from the Discord, Rick, you want to bring us some line-cutting questions?
Oh, sure. Our friend Aaron asks, what is the highlight of your career so far?
Oh boy.
I've got an answer for this one. For about maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours, when Audible was running a promotion on critical failures, for a brief moment, I was at the top of the audiobook fantasy list on Amazon, and second place was George R.R. Martin's Game of Thrones.
Nice.
Nice.
That was, I mean, complete fluke, but yeah, I got my screenshot.
Oh, yeah, you gotta count them. I don't know if
fuck
this is
yeah.
my high point, but I have one screenshot of when Year 4's Audible release came out and was really cooking, and I was a little bit ahead of Harry Potter for one point. I was like,
That's some.
Nice.
this is one I
Yeah.
can send to the family and been like, yeah, okay, the career's going well. This is in a way you can understand.
Yeah, when the first Black Knight book was a Kindle Daily deal and I hit #1 in fantasy and horror that day, I screenshotted the fuck out of that because I was like, this is the only time I'll ever be on a bestseller list ahead of Martin, Charlene Harris, and Stephen King.
Nice. I don't know. I've had a lot that I liked, but I mean, and I can't think of anything that I really bought myself because I'm cheap as fuck as far as I'm concerned. I'm one of those people. As long as I have a roof, I really don't need shit. But my wife is a flautist, and as I've mentioned before, and being able to buy her a new flute entirely from book revenue, and well,
That's awesome.
let's be honest, flutes are way fucking overpriced. Just so this doesn't get too sappy, but that was pretty awesome. Taking her into because there's this really nice flute place in the city. We went there, she tried it out, and we came home with a new flute, which she has pretty much ever since come close to loving to death.
Nice.
Test drove a flute.
Yeah. Oh, for the amount, let me tell you, for the amount flutes cost, you better fucking test drive it there, motherfucker.
Better have a damn Ferrari symbol stamped on the ass of this thing.
Yeah, you don't walk out of there and be like, well, I guess I kind of like this. No, that shit does not fucking happen.
You know when Harry Potter found the wand and he knew it was his? It has to be that.
What do I gotta do to get you to walk out of here with this flute?
Okay, I have a good career weird highlight. It's a little more personal, kind of similar to Rick's, but when my parents stopped worrying about me, asking after me, trying to set me up on job interviews, once it got to the point where they actually understood that this job was going well and I was not only making it, I was succeeding. That was kind of a career high point because for a long time this was not a thing that my family really ever thought was going to be a real thing. I mean, they were nice about it, but it was always yeah, chase it, but do your backup shit. My family's supportive but practical.
I'm imagining your parents at home listening to this and being like, Drew, we never stopped worrying about you, but you're a fucking adult, so you're not our problem anymore.
But I don't know, there is a point when you're doing this kind of job when it goes from a thing that the people in your life are worrying about how you're doing to they're like, oh, that's a cool job that you have. And
Yeah.
that was kind of a highlight for me, was when I passed that point and no longer felt like the one who had to be concerned about.
For me, it had to be when the Quincy Harker series was featured on The View as one of
yeah.
Whoopi's
That was so
holiday
cool.
picks. I mean, I can't come up with anything else for a while that's going to beat 3 million people looking at the covers of my books on network TV.
Let's see here. Two immediately jump to mind. One was a lot of mine have to do with just interactions with people and realizing that I'm their peer. One of them was teaching a workshop on fight scenes at NorwestCon with Fonda Lee, which was seriously cool. And another, this one actually happened a couple of years back, was going to a 47 North dinner and finding myself briefly having a conversation with George R.R. Martin and having him ask about getting a copy of the Mongoliad.
Ooh, nice.
Man.
So,
Did you tell him Robert Bevan whooped his ass for a day?
Not a day. About an hour.
Be like, you should be like, George, the Mongoliad is cool, but have you checked out the Ghost of Hooker Alley?
That brings me to my career highlights, which is whenever a Shingles book gets released and actually appears in the horror charts next to, like, you know, people who tried hard to make a really good horror book. It'll be like, you'll see the titles, kind of like Blood Drive, Demon Force, and then The Legend of the Mummy's Asshole or something.
Sandwiched between Cujo and Christine on the bestseller list is Put Your Hand in My Ass.
God, I love Shingles.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm starting to make progress on neck bromancers.
I think it would be great if there was ever a tweet that, like, you know, Stephen King's like, you know, I stopped looking at the Amazon charts when I saw put your hand in my ass next to my books.
That would be my career highlight.
Oh, yeah, that would 100% be the career highlight.
If I could ruin Stephen King's day.
We should
Just
see if
for
we
one
can get
day.
Mayberry to take a picture with some Shingles books at Dragon Con.
Yeah.
All right, our friend Trauma asks, if you had to be stranded on a desert island, not to be confused with Desert Island Discs, with just one person, who would you choose?
My wife, because I'm not fucking stupid and I get laid.
I mean, I guess, does saying survival expert feel like just the most boring answer? But I don't want to die, and I don't know jack shit about how to survive on an
I was
island.
gonna say Cornelius J. Shipbuilder.
Yeah.
Bear Grylls is not a bad option.
That was going to be mine.
Yeah.
Because then you can just sit there staring at him, waiting for hours, and like he looks at you as the evening draws on, rolls his eyes, and goes, "Fine, sun's setting, time to drink my own piss."
Well, I hope he'd be more helpful
I guess
than that.
Kevin Costner from Waterworld, so he can use his gills to go get us help.
But then you're stuck with the horror of knowing you're in the universe of Waterworld and you can't get out.
Thanks, Rick. Now we're all fucking depressed.
Yeah.
Ooh, do the crossover one. That looks fun.
All right, our friend Paladin Steve says crossovers are big right now. You think? If Hollywood said they'd make a movie of one of your properties, but it has to be a crossover with an existing movie or franchise, what is your combination? I'll be happy to start right off and say, it's like, what's that, Thor? We need a new Avenger? Verily, I know this wonderful chap called Bill the Vampire. Now kindly write Rick a check for $1 billion.
I could pull that off as well, actually, with the Blade movie coming out. I could quite happily do a Shoot the Dead Marvel crossover and have it be somewhat feasible. So, yeah, give me some of that sweet Marvel bucks.
Marvel is so tempting because it's so much money, but I feel like that would be an easy out for me with all the superhero stuff. So I'm gonna take a different swing. There's a show that's on its way out this year that does have a very strong and beloved fan base that, you know, might want some place to put their attention. So if I was going to do a crossover, I would throw a nice, fun, chummy, happy, friendly crossover of Fred the Vampire Accountant into the last season of Supernatural. get a little bit of cross-world building established. If people like it and go well, maybe we do a little spin-off. Just keep some of that deep fan love momentum going.
One of my fans actually was trying to start a Twitter campaign to get Bubba featured on Supernatural for the last season.
Ooh, that would have been
Oh,
fun
I saw
too.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they haven't called yet, but they're still shooting, so I think there's hope. I don't know. For me, I would take Quincy Harker Demon Hunter and drop him in to Justice League, because then we could make a Justice League Dark movie, and there'd be a Justice League movie that didn't fucking suck. So not only would I get paid, I'd save an entire franchise. God. There you go.
I'm also gonna go. I'm gonna go with Marvel. Number one, because there's a shit ton of money there, and number two, because what I've seen, they just don't give a fuck about where characters come from or the backstories and how it's all over the shop. You know,
Bevan, just because you skipped all the movies that had the origin stories and the backstory.
Slow down. You got all right. Give me the Hulk. Where'd he come from?
The Hulk movie. Watch the Hulk movie.
Wait, not Ang Lee's. The second, the Edward Norton Hulk. That was Marvel canon. That did.
No, I don't give a shit.
backstory.
I'm saying, where did the Hulk, the character, come from? He got like splooged on by some Hulk juice or whatever. I don't know.
Gamma radiation.
Gamma radiation.
No, I like getting splooged on by Hulk juice.
We got. What else do we have? We have. The other guy. All right.
You mentioned the Hulk,
Professor
the other guy.
Strange, or whatever his name is.
Professor Strange.
He's a fucking wizard.
There's
All right.
literally a whole movie that explains how he got all that power.
Which character are we talking about right now?
Professor Weird.
That is the question we're wondering.
Yeah.
Bevan.
All right.
I want to see this
saying,
movie: Hulk, Professor Strange, and the other guy.
Captain Army, man. Arrow, dude.
No, wait, hear me out. All right, Arrow dude. What the fuck is it? He shoots fucking arrows. But all right,
Yeah, that's not a
Doctor
difficult
Strange,
origin
sorry.
story.
There's a guy who killed General Admission.
I mean, I'll give you Hawkeye sucks, but that's a joke in the movies itself. We all know Hawkeye sucks.
All right, no, all right.
Arrow dude.
Doctor Strange. He's like a wizard, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
more or
Okay.
less.
Iron Man, just a rich guy that built the suit. Okay,
Yes.
these are all like kind of just different random ass shit, right? What else do we got? Other random shit.
Bevan explains the Marvel Universe via a regular segment.
Yeah.
God,
All right. Anyway, what I'm saying is,
He makes the guy out of Ant-Man look like a fucking amateur.
God damn it, Ant-Man. Oh God. All right. Anyways, what I'm saying is, all right, you bring in caverns and creatures there. Is it so far-fetched that, all right,
There are
guys that are
magical realms in the
magical
Marvel
realms,
universe.
you know,
So there you go.
whatever. Crossover, money, fuck all of you.
Whatever, give him a buddy.
Yeah. It fit right in there. And not
Caverns and
make
creatures
any
would
less of a lick
totally
of sense.
be no less silly than Thor Ragnarok.
Thor, I forgot about
It's
Thor.
so good.
A fucking god, and yeah, whatever. Fuck all of you. That's my choice.
Oh, well, that's the end of the Discord questions. We're not
Yeah,
getting better than that.
I don't think I can possibly follow that up.
Oh, nothing good on Facebook.
Oh, I mean, there's
was-
shit on Facebook. I meant I can't add anything about crossovers to that.
Oh, who could? Who could?
Oh
No,
God.
we're burning that stage down.
It's Joe's books plus any anime cartoon.
I mean, basically, yeah. Let's see here. Our friend Jeff asks, "What appetizer do you always get when you see it on a menu?"
Calamari. I like a good calamari.
I would say, always seeing how everybody's interpretation of just nachos is always kind of fun.
Yeah, I was going to go with nachos too. Rick and I are not the same person.
No. Bob gets the anti-nachos.
I really like wings.
I'm a fan of mozzarella sticks.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's a solid
Good
one.
mozzarella stick.
Those are all good. Something cheesy. If there's a cheese option there.
Mozzarella sticks are
You
cheesy.
come from the land of Scotch eggs.
Yeah, I mean, come on, give us something British. Like, I always like to check out their boiled meat.
Boiled meat is for me. Boiled meat is an appetizer.
Blood dick.
Blood dick.
Blood dick is a breakfast food.
Oh, that's got to be a shirt.
What would you like as an appetizer, sir? I would like one portion of the spotted boiled blood dick.
For lunch? Heresy.
The way it goes away, goes to Jeff, some fucking asshole just ordered blood dick as an appetizer. Fucking planet is he from? Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go blood dick. Right. Let's move on.
You know what? I was judgy, but to his credit, he ate the whole blood dick. Not a scrap of blood dick left.
Oh.
So tangential follow-up to that one, just because I'm curious. What's one you guys like, but will only get if you're in a place where you're like, I feel like it's good here. Like, I love a good crab cake, but I am not going to order a crab cake anywhere.
Yeah, there's only a very few places where I'll do crab cake. Pretty much any kind of seafood app. I want to know where I am and how close to the water I am.
Yeah, never landlocked.
I hate to admit it, I've actually had extremely good crab cakes in Lubbock, Texas. Yeah, I know, fuck me. But
I don't have the
sorry, man.
context to understand
It was a really nice steakhouse where I worked in college called Double Nickel. And God, that owner was one of the worst people I have ever worked for, and I'm still gonna tell you how good that fucking food was, because like she was the worst. She took the credit card fees out of our tips.
Oh, goddamn.
No, she was just
the
a
double
fucking
nickel.
monster.
It's called the double nickel because that's your salary.
But the food is still really good. I'm not gonna lie about that. So yeah, and that place has truly a great crab cake.
Well, I mean, no, he had a question there. I don't have a real good answer. I'll either order an appetizer if the family's in the mood for an appetizer, or we won't.
I hate to say this, but I'm pretty much
that's
the same as Bob.
God damn it! You're not helping the cause, Rick.
I know. Grow a mustache or something, man.
Join us at A&D Con when Penn and Teller will finally unite Bevan and Rick into the single body.
Again.
Put them back.
Put them back.
I don't know, man. I think they were split for a reason. They were split for a reason. There are spells that shouldn't be undone. There's deep magic.
Because you tried to pull my dick off.
Those spells shouldn't be undone. Like the creature that would be made would be too powerful.
This is how you get blood dick.
Oh, God.
Oh God. Okay.
All right, Joe, I think we got time for one more.
Okay. Should I go for an actual decent question or like the most bullshit thing I can find?
Whatever you think will be
Bullshit.
the most fun for us to answer.
Hey, what about we got a Rhiannon reader question?
Rhiannon, yeah. We should do that one. Okay.
She's a new fan. So.
Rhiannon. Okay, yeah, let's do her. Okay, so our friend Rhiannon says, it's difficult for me to balance family time and time for myself and my hobbies. I find that it's especially difficult to get any writing done at home. How do your spouses feel about the time you spend writing? How do they feel about the time you spend gaming? What about your kids? Basically, how do you get the people you love to fuck off for a few hours every day? P.S. I just discovered this podcast and I love it. Well, we love you too, Rhiannon. Also, fuck you. That's a point of honor.
It's a positive thing. Hopefully,
It's a positive
you've gotten
thing.
far enough in to realize that.
It's a good thing, just ask Mark.
Oh God, when we meet people named Mark at A&D Con, it's just going to be so hard not to just reflexively tell them to fuck off. I think we can though.
How many people are just going to
hotel
have like
manager.
Mark written on their badge just to get constant fuck offs?
Okay, so I guess of the people in the podcast, I think I'm the one with the youngest. Of those of us who have kids, I'm the one who has the youngest kids because my kids are 2 and 6, and I'm a stay-at-home parent. So I get my writing done in like spurts and grabbed moments throughout the day. Like sometimes I sit down and literally type words for 5 minutes. Other times I just say to my wife, or like, okay, I'm gonna go work now. I put the kids in front of the TV for a few hours. My oldest starts kindergarten next year, so I'll have more time. My wife is also extremely understanding, though. She's the breadwinner, and, I take care of the house. So, as for gaming, well, it keeps me sane. And sane me is good. So, that's and my wife games too, so, didn't have a problem with it.
I've always had weird jobs that have strange hours, so it's not switching from my old corporate job plus whatever side hustle I had isn't really that different from my hours writing, so it's just always been our life. So I'm not going to be a whole lot of help there because that's just how we live. We do shit at weird times.
I just remembered one more thing. I think, like, if you want to, convince your family to fuck off, so to speak, it's really useful, I've found, to just be straight up honest and be like, I need some me time or I'm going to lose my goddamn mind. And if your family's any sort of understanding, they will give you that. You can work something out. There is a lot of hours in the day.
Yeah, my secret is hanging out, is doing my work in the garage, where in the summer it's too hot and the winter is too cold, and nobody else wants to come out here. Otherwise, I mean, yeah, it's part of the whole self-employment thing. At times, I feel my wife hasn't grasped that this is a job, and it's not like we're just on constant vacation, and I can pack up and drive her wherever she wants to go all the time. But we're working on it, and I do get sometimes I get my hours to work in the garage. But yeah.
I was gonna say that. I mean, this is my job now. So honestly, if I'm not doing it during and I try to keep normal actually work hours. That just works best for me. But if I'm actually not doing it, I get yelled at. So.
I wish that was the case.
I mean, as for my kids, I mean, they're old enough. They're off doing their own thing. I mean, we have times where we go out and do things and other stuff. But like especially my middle son, he doesn't want us knowing what the hell he's up to. Yeah, I go and look over his shoulder. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? Don't look at me. Don't look at my stuff.
So similar to Rick, I do this full time now, so it's not really an issue. And before I did it full time, I had a habit of working a lot of jobs that would demand I be in front of a computer for a specific number of hours per day, regardless of how much work there actually was to be done at said computer. So downtime was a thing, and you can do a lot of preliminary work. You can write on Google Docs. There's a lot of ways to squeeze productivity into a job that wastes your time.
Oh, I wrote my first 4 novels in my office hours time when I was teaching English in Korea. Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote my second and third novels on the clock. Middle management for the win, baby.
Yep.
I'm not going to admit to that in any way, shape, or form. But
I've never written during hours I was billing, like freelances, like when I was contract or anything. But if I was on salary and it was the kind of situation where all they cared about was ass in seats, especially if they were pedantic dicks about managing your break time, I was like, no, fuck you guys.
Yeah, I think I've still got a full-time job. I'm lucky that my kids are more grown up now. Got a 12-year-old and a 17-year-old. They're quite content just to hang out and mainly watch YouTube. And my wife is fucking superwoman. She's a triathlete, so she's always doing something weird and alien to me. So yeah, I mean, I tend to get a lot of time, but there's, you've got a full-time job, and there's something to be said about commoditizing your hobbies. It's not always a great move to kind of have that business mindset. I mean, like today, my wife and kid were going to visit their uncle, and I thought, oh wow, I've got like the whole evening to myself. I'm gonna go back and get some work done. And I finished my day at work. I went to the gym. I made myself some dinner. And after that, I just like, fuck it. I just want to sit down and play Doom on the Switch. And even when I was playing Doom on the Switch, I thought, man, I wonder if I could stream this. And so eventually you got to, stop thinking about your actions as a commoditizing action. Just, switch off and do fucking nothing, otherwise you'll go nuts.
I was just gonna say that is actually one of the reasons why I game, is that I need to do something creative that is unconnected from the need to make money.
I was going to go the opposite way with that. I just you don't need to make everything commoditable, but it's nice to be in a position where things that you want to do anyway can be commoditable.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even, perhaps commoditizing is the wrong word. It's not even about making money. I'll be out for a drink with someone, we're having a nice conversation, and at the back of my mind I'll be thinking, man, we should really be recording this. It's just
right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, but I get what Steve's saying. Like, I have a different D&D game that I play on different nights, because, like, as much as I love this, there is a difference between this kind of game and just a regular, standard D&D game that no one's recording and there's no thought to, presentation or anything. And I like them both, but they are different experiences.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. And I think what you've got to watch out for is where that energy's going. I'm a low energy guy, and everyone's only got a finite amount of energy. So when you do find that time, and I know finding that time is hard, just make sure that you're dedicating everything to that time within that time period, and you're not faffing about trying to do other things, so that when you're not in that time period, you can just relax and do nothing and chill out with the people you want to chill out with.
Yeah, I mean, there is that thing of like, there is that concept to take in mind of like, how bad do you want it, versus like, what are we willing to give up for it? Now, the reality is, I'm a firm believer that you can kind of do this and like not give up a lot. I mean, I think back in my days when I was doing corporate, even the days when I was like writing at night, I mean, worst case scenario was like, okay, there's a show I'm not watching or something.
Yeah, I didn't comment so much on the family aspect of this question, but I think back to when I was working in Korea, teaching English, and then I mean, I'd get up well before my kids would. I'd go to work, and between classes, I'd do my writing, but then to make ends meet, after the college job was done, I go teach private tutoring classes with the kids and stuff, and sometimes I wouldn't get home until after my kids are in bed, and sometimes today when I'm working from home, I feel guilty that am I not spending enough time with the family, with the kids? But it's a shit ton more than I was then, and it's I mean, when I think about a regular working person, I think about the time my dad spent with me as a kid. I think I'm doing all right. Just being here. All day.
Certainly is an advantage of it.
Yeah, it's not like they come in here and I tell them to fuck off. I'm working.
See, I have said that, except I didn't say fuck off.
We've been over this. Only come in the garage if you're bringing daddy beer.
I'm pretty sure I actually have said fuck off once or twice.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess everyone's different, and that's just, I work in my living room, so people are always walking in and out, and sometimes I think, would I get a lot more done faster if I just had my own quiet little space where I that wasn't happening and I wasn't listening to other people's television. And then
That's why I work in the garage. Nobody wants to come in here. It's fucking intolerable.
Yeah, I'm lucky in that I can tune other people out.
Almost like I'm very easily distracted. But yeah, I guess it all comes down to what your situation is, what your capabilities are. Just make sure you're finding that balance.
Yeah. Well, Steve hit it on the head. When you get the time, make the most you can with it. Don't squander the windows you get.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that.
And on that post-it note, we are going to go ahead and call things for this week. Thank you for joining us. We will be back next week with an episode of SideQuest, and then in 2 weeks with another episode of Authors and Dragons. Until next time, bye.
Bye.
Authors and Dragons is brought to you under a Creative Commons license, meaning you are free to share this material so long as credit is given to those who created it, which is us, the people you just heard play the game. Opening and closing themes performed by the Gore Core 4.
Authors and Dragons! Authors and Dragons!
From filth we came, to filth we shall return.